Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So I'm putting together a Saturday night special episode for you for this week, and I just want to apologize up front and let you guys know there's probably not going to be any machining or chip making footage in this video. I've got a lot of other things that's been going on. We've got some new equipment and tools in the shop here that I've been working on, and I want to pull all this kind of stuff together for you to make an episode and just kind of get you caught up on the new shop and what we've been doing here. We also just recently got back from our Ohio road trip where we went up to Zanesville to Saunders Machine Works to do our CNC training course up there. That was a great trip. We had a lot of fun. We made a few stops on the way, like Cincinnati. We enjoyed a few things there in Cincinnati. We've got a few videos on those trips there. So over on the A-Bomb Adventures YouTube channel, if you're interested in that, got a couple of museums and just having some fun. And then I do have a shop tour video for Saunders Machine Works, including the classroom, and you may have already seen that, or that may have already been published before this video, but regardless, there is going to be another video there for the Saunders Machine Works, so be sure to check that out there as well. But what I want to mention is one of the segments in this video that I want to do is a toolbox tour. So I've been kind of on the lookout for another nice Gerstner tool chest that I wanted to acquire one for this new shop here to be used for machinist tools, gauges, you know, things like that. Have a toolbox because, you know, I just love those Gerstner tool chests. So whenever we're taking trips like that, my wife Abby and I, we like to do antique shops, antique malls, and it's a great way to break up a trip. When you've got a long driving segment through different states, we like to seek out those different places that have antiques and stop there. It's fun for us. We love seeing all the old stuff and hopefully find something cool to bring back home. So we were in Springfield, Ohio at the Heart of Ohio Antique Mall, which is a great place. You can spend hours there. And we were looking. I come around the corner into one of the other booths there, and there's this beautiful Gerstner tool chest with a riser cabinet. And as soon as I saw that, I looked at it and I said, that looks like that belongs in the new shop. So I took a little closer look at it. The first thing that stood out was the beautiful red felt that was in this tool chest. A lot of people aren't aware that whenever you order a Gerstner tool chest, there's several felt color options. I think they have black, brown, blue, green, and red. Maybe some other colors there too. But so the previous owner of this box obviously chose red felt, and I thought it might have been a Starrett Gerstner chest at first, but it wasn't. It's a Gerstner, they made a few for Starrett, that's what I mean, but this one was not a Starrett box. But it had a beautiful look to it. You could tell it was used, but it was well taken care of. It had a little bit of aging to it there. Started looking at a few of the drawers. There was still some of the tools left in there from the previous owner. So there was some literature in there, decimal charts that had someone's name on it, and I looked in another drawer and there's a name badge with the same name on it. There's even a couple of the tools in there that I know that this person made. So I don't know who the seller was, but I made an offer, they accepted it, and we brought this toolbox home. So what I would like to do is set this box up. I haven't been in all the drawers yet. We just closed it up, put it away, brought it in. I've got it here ready to show you. Let's go through this box and see what was left in there, and maybe learn a little bit about the previous owner of this Gerstner tool chest. So we've got a new Fireball tool welding table that I assembled, and we've got set up over here. So I want to show you that footage. Had a great time using our Gore-Belt jib crane to lift that up. It was about 3,500 pounds. We picked that up, got the legs, so we've got that footage to share with you. We've also got our new Baldor grinders in here. I've got a pedestal grinder and a buffer, and we just received those. I got them put together. They're setting up. Still got some more work that I'm doing on that. In fact, I got one of the flanges right here off of the 12-inch pedestal grinder that I'm going to do some machine work. This will be a separate video, by the way. We're gonna face these guys, make sure all of our flange plates are nice and true, and then start putting the wheels on there. So that's going to be a separate video for that. And I think there's a couple other things I wanted to share with you, but if I have it, I'm going to throw it in there. I know we've got our new tap dispenser. That came in right before we went on that trip, so we're going to throw that in there as well and show you. So I got a couple other little antique finds. I'm going to share that with you too, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, okay? So just a few items I want to quickly share with you that we found during our little excursions there at the antique malls. I love these guys right here, these small 6-inch combination squares with the center finder on there as well. This is a Lufkin, made by Lufkin Rule Company, and you can see that it's in excellent condition. So got that, picked that up for the toolbox here in the new shop. And I also found this really cool surface gauge right here. Now this is one, I've got a few surface gauges, but I don't have one like this right here. It's a nice small size. I like the way the base is machined on there. It's just a nice small compact size that you can use for various different things. Use it as a pointer or a surface gauge to scratch a line across a piece of material. And this one is actually made by Moore & Wright over in Sheffield, England. So, and it wasn't much. This was actually $6. So I got that. I can't remember how much this was, but it wasn't that much. I want to say this was right around $30 for this combination square. All right. And then I also found this nice big taper shank drill bit right here. This, I still got the sticker on here, Jeffrey's Antiques, which is right down the road from the Heart of Ohio Antique Mall, and they were asking $35. I got to look into this. It's actually got a little bit of surface rust just from sitting in the truck for the past 2 weeks, but I think this was a new old stock drill that was probably in some of that like paper that was wrapped up, and whoever had it, they cleaned it up. You can tell, you can see where it was trying to rust there, so they cleaned it up. I believe it's got the original grind on there from the factory. I just don't think that this has ever been used. There's no wear on the taper shank there. Just, it's got some dings in there from being thrown around over the years, but really good quality. This is the National brand taper shank drill, 2-inch in diameter with a number 5 Morse taper. So this is a great drill to add to the American Pacemaker tooling line up there. All right, and then last thing, I love these Cleveland drill indexes. I did not find this in an antique store, although I have found 1 or 2 out there. I found this one actually on Instagram. My friend Barry Robbins, he actually referred me to someone that was selling this. And the reason why I wanted this one is because it's the letter drill sizes, which I do not have. I've got this in fractional, numbered sizes, and now that I've got the letters, I've actually got a complete set of them. But the craftsmanship that was put into these drill indexes just is absolutely amazing. And this one right here really is impressive in the quality there. I believe they were copper coated, so it's not a solid copper block, but it is that coated look on there. And the embellishments that they put into the casting is just unbelievable how nice it looks. It's got the trademark with the Cleveland logo there, made in USA. It's got all your decimals there that correspond to the letter. So anyway, just wanted to share that. I do have a new set of Cleveland drill bits that we're going to be putting in this guy right there, and I just love my classic Cleveland drill indexes. So there's our recent tool scores on our Ohio road trip. So our welding table weighs 3,300 pounds. It's a great test for our Gore Belt jib crane. We have a 2-ton limit on that, or 4,000 pounds. So it's handling it pretty nicely. I'll get you a nice shot of lifting it here. And I brought Dad's old sawhorses down here. and we'll be able to pick it up and have a place to set it down safely so that we can start working on our legs. These are the 6 legs that bolt to it. They're adjustable, heavy-duty swivel casters. You can actually adjust these different links here with these 2 bolts, and there's a screw there for fine adjustments. Here's a little closer look at one of the legs here, and the way it's designed is that you can adjust it. You got the 2 bolts that go through, and the 2 tubes slide together. You have several different adjustment positions you can do. These are on 2-inch centers, so increments of 2-inch adjustments there, and then you have the screw. So you can also do a fine adjustment there with the screw and in the lock nut. I actually kind of like the height of the table where it's at. Coincidentally, it's at 36 inches, 3 foot. And so 28 inches to the bottom there. So I'm just going to try to get this measured to about 28 inches somewhere. It's going to be right about there, actually. That'll put us close, and then we can use the screw here for our fine adjustment. Here's a little tip I picked up along the way. If you're working with some socket head bolts and you don't have the right size Allen wrench, in this case this is a 9/16. I don't have one here at this shop. You can take 2 that fit in there snugly like that, and that'll hold it good enough. Just like that. It'll hold it from turning. Okay, we have all 6 legs bolted to it now. I have the center ones raised up so that they're not quite touching yet. Let's see how easy it is to move. Extra washer that they had in the bag. That's got a lot of mass to it. It's just going to keep on rolling. That's going to make it really easy to move. So Jason offers this table with fixed legs as well. I believe those are adjustable also, but I wanted the caster legs for this exact reason, so we could easily move it around. So it's going to live in that corner up there, but I wanted to have the ability, since he had the caster legs, to be able to move it if we need to, or maybe move it out here in the middle of the shop. Just kind of move it around as we need to, since I don't have a forklift here. And those are going to make it real nice. Those seem to be well-built casters, heavy duty. They don't have like a lot of flex in them, so it's not going to be shaking around. And I do like the way that the locks are made. They're real easy to lock it in. You have an on and an off. Pretty simple. And I did forget to mention this. There's another set of bolts here, so you actually have 1-inch increments. So if these holes don't line up where you want it, you can come over here to this side and line up, and it'll move it 1 inch at a time. Well, there it is. This is about where it's going to live. We'll reposition it as we need to. This whole area right in here is going to be kind of designated as any kind of welding fab area, as well as you know, pedestal grinders and things like that. I'll talk about that in a minute. And I wanted to kind of give you a little bit closer look of the plate itself. So I think the manufacturing quality of this table is excellent. It's got a really nice smooth finish to it. I'm sure all the holes are accurately drilled. All the chamfers look to be identical in depth. Everything about the plate just seems to be a very well engineered, machined table. I do not have any of the tooling that goes with it yet. I believe that's going to be like a separate shipment that's going to come in. It should be here very soon, and we'll have the all of the fixturing tools, and we'll probably continue to add some of the tools. Jason has a whole full line of clamps and fixture tools made to use on these tables of his, and should be getting the first box of them here to kind of get me kick-started to be able to use it. But this is also going to be used as a general workbench as well, not just a welding table. So we are going to end up putting one of his vices on here. Whenever Jason released the pre-order for his hardtail vise, I was lucky enough to get it on that pre-order. There's just been some manufacturing delays, I believe, on his vices, so they're not quite ready yet, or they should be ready soon, the first batch of them anyway. So I do plan on having his hardtail vise mounted on here. But in the meantime, since I don't know when that's going to be, we'll probably dig out one of my big 8-inch reed vices and get it cleaned up and mounted on here so that we've got a good workbench to work off of. Maybe put a couple of vices. We'll put the big boy on here, a small one, and then just have a general workbench here that we can work on things. So more about this little area of the shop here. What I wanted to mention, I had this double door installed whenever the contractors were building this place out. And the only reason I wanted a double door here is because I wanted access into this office room to be able to put a granite surface plate. And that's probably, that is one of the goals of this office right here. We're gonna be, this area here is gonna end up being like a desk with a computer. This is, you know, the office area right here. I wanted the rest of this to be sort of like tool room, you know, just make use of all the space I have in this building here. So I want to put a granite surface plate in the middle, but I wanted to have enough access in the door to get it through there. So that's the only reason for the double door. I'm probably going to end up moving my toolbox here down further to kind of take up this space since we don't need this door here. And I want to get like some kind of heavy duty shelf to go next to it to be able to start putting all of our welding clamps and all of our tools there next to the toolbox. You know, my fireball clamps and just anything else I need storage for is going to go right in this area here. Also have a place for a welder. I still got to acquire a welder, get a cart for it. We got to plug behind those ladders so it can plug the welder in there. Here in this area, I've got a 3-phase circuit run right here, and I'm going to be putting a couple pedestal grinders right here. Those are on order right now. We've got a Baldor 12-inch grinder, pedestal grinder on order. Should be here in a couple of weeks or so. I've also got a buffer polisher coming, and I'm going to put those guys right here. And I still want to do my idea with the gas tanks as well in our other Reelcraft gas hose reels that's going to go up there. I believe we can put, you know, a couple of tanks sort of right in this area and still have room to maybe put some grinders right here in front of them. So that's the idea for this area right here. If I need to, you know, we can probably utilize some of this corner or over there for another grinder if I need, because I gotta, there was 3 different grinders that I'd like to get for the shop. So we're just gonna kind of fill it out as we can, wherever we have room for it. But I did want to kind of leave this open right in here so that we had some work area when we start working on things. If we're gonna be cutting materials, you know, and need an area to work on, that's what this is going to be for right here. So once again, I think it's a great build quality. Everything about it, the casting, the machining, the fabrication of the legs, it's heavy duty and it's rigid. It's going to be a really nice work table. Can't wait to get the vices mounted on here. Can't wait to get the table in here, our grinders, and start building out this nice fab area over here in the shop. just it's going to be a great accessory to have here in the shop, and wherever we go for that matter. For the rest of my career, this is going to be an excellent table for me to use. So just really happy to have it and add it to the new shop here. I wanted to give you guys an update on this because I mentioned this a few videos back that I had ordered this guy. So this is the Huot Master Tap dispenser. So this one's going to be good for most all of your common sizes in both imperial and metric sizes. We got her set up. I've only just now started getting ready to put some taps in there. Started pulling some of the ones out of the other toolbox there, and we're going to start getting this organized. So up here on the top side, you've got all of your wire gauge numbered sizes that you would need, including room for spare taps. Next one down, this is going to be all of your metric sizes. So we're going to be going from 2.5 all the way up to 30 millimeter there on this drawer. Next one down, so this one's going to be, looks like from 1/4 to 7/8, and some of these look like, the way that these are, we can have some of our long, like pulley style taps in there if we want to. In your bottom drawer, this is where the big boys are going to be, you know, 1 inch and up to 1.5 inches right there. So excited to finally have this in the shop because I've got all these new Cleveland taps here, and this is just a few that I grabbed, but we've got a nice assortment in both imperial and metric sizes, and I wanted to have this guy as a nice professional storage to be able to store them and organize them. So I have one place I can go to to get all of my taps there. And Huot does such a great job of building these cabinets right there. I mean, it is just top-notch quality. It's got ball bearing slides in there, and it also has the catch, so you can push it in there and it kind of locks it in place so it doesn't try to roll out on you. They are stackable. I believe they recommend only stacking 2 at a time on these, and they have several different of these master cabinets. So you can get them for drills, reamers. They have some where they have the compartments that'll actually have your drill and your tap in there if you want to store both of them together. They sent me the catalog, so they actually have a pretty nice array of products that Huot makes, and they're up in St. Paul, Minnesota. So very cool. Finally happy to get this in here. And there was one more thing I wanted to share with you too. That is this set of drills right here. I'm going to grab these guys and set them down. So this is the Chicago Latrobe, and this is the nicest set of metric drills I have ever had, but I want you to check this out. Really nice Huot case, same as the Master Tap dispenser there. But this is a complete set of metric drills that goes from 1 millimeter all the way up to 13 millimeter, but finally have a set of drills and a nice range of sizes. Instead of just having 0.5 millimeter increments, a lot of these drills go up into you know, 1/10 increments or whatever your standard sizes would be for all of your metric drills. So similar to the imperial size where you have fractions, letters, and numbered drills, same equivalent sizes, except these are all metric. And the other thing I like about it is that they give you, in the black shade, these are your decimal equivalent to the metric size. So somebody like me that's so used to reading in imperial sizes, I can come over this and I know what, you know, decimal and inch that I'm looking for, and which relates to the metric size next to it there. So just super nice, man. There's a really nice set of drills from Chicago Latrobe there to go with our new tap dispenser. All right, guys, it's another exciting new tool day here in the shop. I just took delivery of my new Baldor grinders. I ordered these through IT Supply. They're local to me. Jeff over there at IT Supply, he's always real helpful anytime I'm looking for something specific, and he helps me out and gets it ordered. So I've been kind of waiting. It's been about a month, I believe now. We put the order in for both of these guys, and there was a little bit of a delay. And then we took our Ohio trip, and this was delivering during that Ohio trip. So they actually just been holding on to them at their warehouse, and then they just dropped them off, and we just got them unloaded. So what we have is, this guy is a pedestal grinder. This is your 12-inch pedestal grinder. The model number is the 1215W. 2 horsepower, 3-phase, 12-inch diameter wheels, 2 inches wide. This is the same exact grinder that I used when I was at Motion, and I absolutely loved this guy. It was just silky smooth, whisper quiet. It always worked really well. I was trying to go with the 3 horsepower model, but that one wasn't in production. It was going to be a long lead time. So this one was actually in production when I wanted to place that order. So we went ahead and went with the 1215W. This one here is your 330B buffer. It is a 3/4 horsepower, and it's also a 3-phase motor as well. You can get these in single phase, but I wanted to go ahead and utilize my 3-phase power here, so that's what we did. All right, and I do have all the wheels. We got a couple grinding wheels for that guy. I have got a wire brush for one side and a Scotch-Brite for the other side, just like I have set up at the home shop. And then we've also got 2 cast iron pedestals. I believe that's the model number, the GA20. It's a cast iron pedestal. So we are ready to get these guys. I'm going to start working on getting these guys unboxed, uncrated, getting them all set up, and I'll give you guys a little footage here of getting these set up. I've still got to. I think we're going to have to run some cord out of here, and I need to get some cord caps for our plugs to be able to get these things fired up and running. But I'm going to show you how we progress on these 2 guys right here. Okay, we've got them mounted to the pedestals now. That's about as far as I've gotten. I'm going to go put them. Go set them in place, but I wanted to at least show you this right here. Now, a couple things going into this. For one, I wanted to point out that I think Baldor could do a better job of packing these things up. You can see that they rub there, so you've got paint rubbed off there and on the front. I would have used the other side, but I wanted to put the Baldor sticker to the front for it to be the correct position. So just minor things, but still a little annoying when you pay a lot of money for this kind of stuff that it's not brand new whenever it comes in. So a little bit of paint scuffing right there that we got to deal with. The other thing is that I would have thought that, I actually didn't think about this when I made the order, but there's a little coolant tray that mounts on here that you put water in so you can dip your tools in there whenever you're grinding. And obviously that didn't come with the grinder, but I didn't think to even ask about that. So I've got Jeff over at IT Supply inquiring on the little coolant tray that mounts on there. So I want to get that. I just wanted it to be a correct unit, you know, something that I believe is cast and bolts on there, and it'll look complete. So I know for a fact on this buffer right here, what I'm going to end up doing, your backing plates right here, these are just cast. They're cast aluminum, and problem with them is that they don't run very true. So if you use these as they are and bolt a wheel on there, you're going to get some vibration and out of trueness whenever it's spinning. So one of the first things I'm going to do is take all these washers off both sides, and I'm going to make sure that they're faced true with the bore. And we'll probably skin the OD there as well, just to try to get them as true as we can to eliminate any kind of vibration and out of trueness whenever they pull up against the wheel. Now I may end up having to machine some kind of bushing like I did the one on the home shop for the wire brush that's going on here, because I couldn't ever get it. It was sitting there just kind of running out, and I couldn't do anything to get it to run true without actually making, I made a nylon bushing that goes on both sides there to true that wheel up. So this is something we're probably going to get into later to make sure that that runs good. I've got the other side, I'm going to use a 3M polishing wheel, Scotch-Brite wheel I mean, and there's really no worry about that. You just put it on there and roll. So we may end up doing the same thing on the pedestal grinder here, take these washers and we'll mount those in a lathe on a fixture and go ahead and make sure that the faces are machined true whenever they pull up against that wheel there. All right, so, but anyway, here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys over there where they're gonna go against the wall. So this is where they're gonna live right here. Now they may be moved around a little bit once we get them hooked up and operational, but this was the best spot that I have. Also, I wanted to keep it as far away from the machine tools as I could. But anyway, this is where they're going to go. I had my electrician hook me in a couple receptacles there, so I'm waiting on him to get with me to come back, and we're going to hook in the the cords and the cord caps so that we can plug these in. So one of the issues that I'm running into right off the bat with the buffer is that I ordered the wrong width wheel right here. I thought that this was going to work, but I ordered it without actually having the you know, a wheel and a buffer in front of me. I was thinking that there was plenty of shaft here that was going to accept a 2-inch wide Scotch-Brite wheel, but you can see after you put your washer on there, there's no room for the nut. So I'm going to reorder this. I'm just going to go with the 1-inch wide Scotch-Brite wheel instead of the 2-inch wide, and also see if I can get it with the 3/4 bore, because this is a 1-inch bore, 3/4 shaft. But anyway, that's what that's going to look like once that's set up right. And then this side over here, again, we've got, this is the wire brush that I want to run. I like using the more soft wire wheel. It's a little more forgiving when you're pushing into it with a workpiece to clean rust off or whatever. But it's got a larger bore, so this is where I'm going to have to duplicate what I did. And I'm going to machine a couple of nylon, like a washer that's going to fit that bore on both sides. And it'll be machined nice and true so that whenever this wheel is mounted on there, it'll be in the center. And it won't be wobbling back and forth there either. It'll run nice and straight and true once that's on there. So this is gonna be another project that I'll get to, and I'll show you guys some footage of this whenever we do our modifications to get these wheels mounted on here. And then I'll show you what this grinder looks like once we get our grinding wheels mounted on there as well. This shouldn't be any problem at all, but I do want to face these washers off. So we have to take our side covers off, mount those in a fixture. So this will just be another project that I'll get to pretty soon and show you guys once we get all this hooked up and everything is ready to roll. All right. Okay, I wanted to give you guys a little update on the Fireball Tools welding table. We've got it all ready to go. I've got some new tooling there for it from Fireball Tools that we're gonna be able to utilize with the table itself. I wanted to start off by mentioning we've got our Reed 108 vise down here now. This is one that I cleaned up. I've got it on the channel where we took it apart, cleaned it, painted it, and it is ready to go. I already have the Wilton down here, but we've got both of them bolted on here so that I have a vise I can come up to for whatever. Something to consider, and Jason even recommended this as well, is that you can make you like an adapter plate that bolts to the side of the table to where you can get the vices off of the top work surface and it's not taking up real estate up there. Something I know that's really important, especially for folks that truly use this for straight up fabricating. You don't want a vise up there. This is more of a universal table for my application, what I'm gonna be doing. It'll be used as a workbench, a general workbench, tearing things apart, whatever we need, and also use it for a nice fabricating table as well. But something I just wanted to point out there that Jason recommended. And we've got all of our tooling here to kind of get us started. These are all the Fireball tool tooling that goes with the welding table here. So we've got a lot of different blocks to use for fences, for fixturing. There's all different, Jason's come up with a lot of different sizes here, and they all work in unison together. These are the step blocks here that you can use for various different things. Jason has some good videos over on his YouTube channel and his Instagram page about all of this tooling that he has designed for his table there. So you've got a lot of different configurations that you can do, and I'm not even aware of all the different ways that you can put these guys together and use them for different fixturing needs. I've got to get in here and just get some time on this stuff and figure it out for myself with the help of some of Jason's recommendations, like these guys right here. So these are some of your V-blocks that you can use, and you see you've got your tapped holes. So you can take these pins right there and screw them in, and then, drop them in anywhere on the plate that you want. If you need a V-block over here on the side, you can do that right there. And all this stuff works together. These pins right here, these go down in there and you can tighten these up. There's different things like that. There's no telling how many different ways you can set this stuff up. And it's not things that I'm actually used to, because I've never had such a nice welding table like this until now. So I've got to get some time on all this and figure out how it all works. And when we got some nice fabrication and welding jobs, we're going to be putting this stuff to work, in addition to our Fireball Tools squares that we have at the other shop. Also got some of these hold down clamps here, this style as well. Jason machines, you know, he has bushings mounted to all these types of clamps so that they can be used on his welding table. You can see this guy here, he just has a simple bushing machined and pinned on there so that it fits the 3/4 inch holes on his tables. We've also got a set of the magnetic shim blocks. These are super helpful, not only for fabricating, but for machining as well. I oftentimes use these on the milling machine for different setups. So really nice kit of tooling right there. That's a spray ball that you can use for the anti-spatter on the table here. So a lot of nice stuff. Really looking forward to getting used to having all this and you know, having such a nice table when we're doing some fabricating.